What's good, everybody? Salty here. Let's get down with some Tales from Retail. Here we go. Lady yells at another customer for taking her piece of salmon. When I was in high school, I worked at a fish market. One afternoon when I was working, this lady walks in and one of my coworkers goes out to help her. We'll call him B. The lady wants to buy a kind of smoked salmon that we made at the store, which was quite popular. Because it was so popular, usually what we kept out on display was not all we had. We almost always had more in the walk-in fridge in the back. Anyways, so the lady tells B how much she wants, but is indecisive about whether or not she wants another piece. So B puts the amount she asked for on the scale and is waiting for her to make a decision. While she is still thinking, another customer walks in and I go out to help him. The guy asked for a piece of the same kind of smoked salmon, so I grab the last piece in the display case and put it on the other scale. The lady then turns to my customer and says to him, "Hey, you took my piece." B then tells her that there is more in the back and that he can grab her another piece. While B is trying to calmly remedy the situation, I ring my customer out, and as he leaves he politely tells her to have a good day, and she yells at him to f*** off. After B has gone to the back, gotten her another piece and rung her up, she then starts to leave and tells us that she knows the manager and he will hear about this. After the whole ordeal, we go back until our manager asks us exactly what happened. He was at the store in the back, and we tell him. He then tells us that he has no idea who this lady is. There was a window in the wall separating the front and the back so he could see but not necessarily hear. And from what we told him, we handled it exactly how he would have. Maybe she just wanted that exact piece. The one in the back isn't the same, you guys. Come on. Fine does not in fact mean things are fine. I've worked at a cute family-owned ice cream shop in New York for around 5 years now. It's mostly alright. I get to work with close friends, but the customers have always been a little much. I have so many stories to share now that I found this sub. Anyway, it's important to note that we are right along a popular intersection. It gets pretty busy enough that you can't just rush across the street to get to the other side. You really gotta wait by the crosswalk. One day, myself and my coworker, he'll be the CW and I'll be, me. We're working a night shift, 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. And our first customer was a dad with his kid. Dad will be dad, kid will be kid. Dad, tell the nice lady what you want. Cherry! Okay, what size should I get you? He'll take a small. I go ahead and make the order, hand it to them, and it's a nice day out, so they're sitting outside our store sharing it. 10 minutes later, the dad comes back. He hated this. Can we get a different flavor? I look down to see the ice cream is 2/3 finished. There are maybe 5 dainty spoonfuls left. Me, I can scoop you another ice cream, but I can't just give it to you for free, if that's what you're asking. Why not? He hated it. Sir, most of it is gone. Just put the rest of it back and give us another flavor. At this point, I'm just staring at the dude, completely unsure of how else to explain this to him. My coworker steps in. He's a big dude, pretty intimidating, so I'm hoping that maybe the dad will listen to him. Coworker, sir, if you ate the ice cream, we can't give it back. It's technically contaminated. We can scoop you more, but you do have to pay for it. I'm sorry. Fine. Dad proceeds to grab the ice cream off the counter where he had previously left it. He turns and with a triumphant "Hi-yah" sound, hurls the rest of the ice cream into the oncoming traffic. It hits the ground, splatters, and proceeds to get run over. His child screams, attempts to run after the ice cream, and nearly gets splattered himself by oncoming cars. His dad grabbed him in the nick of time and turned back to us, only to yell, "You could have gotten my kid killed. Thanks for that." And then he leaves. Came back next week, ordered a large cherry. The scary thing is, this one doesn't even really faze me. It's like the normal around here these days. Crazy people just run the streets. It's called self-serve for a reason. So I'm the cashier that works the self-serve checkouts at my local grocery store. We have 4 registers in total that I have to keep an eye on. We got a little busy and this customer walks up to me as I'm standing at the podium, which shows all the register's orders as they are rung in, and shoves newspapers in my face and doesn't say a word. I knew that he wanted me to ring them up for him, but rude. I go over to an open register and ring in the papers and get it set to the payment menu. All he has to do now is pay with the cash in his hand by putting it into the machine. Well, as he's paying, another register goes off and that customer needs help. I go to help her because I think this guy has it under control. Nope. I helped the lady ring in the bananas. She couldn't tell if it was a 9 or a 4 for the code. So I put in the code and watch to make sure it weighs properly. That's when I hear the guy. Miss, you were helping me first, remember? I have to help whichever machine goes off, and I came here so you could do it for me, so I wouldn't have to wait so long in line. All that happened was the machine wouldn't take his crinkled money, so I folded it to the point where it was almost straight and the machine took it. I then didn't get a thank you, but I also thought to myself, it's called self-serve for a reason. This just added to my already stressful day, but what can you do but be nice? That's when you explain it to him like a 3-year-old. Take the barcode, scan the newspaper, push this button. I think you'll get the point eventually. So, a customer reaches into her bra. Lots of women wear bras. I'd say a majority of women wear them to support their boobs and to look or feel nice. There's a small minority who also seem to view their bras as magical extra pockets in which they can store money, their license, their credit cards, and their crystals. Betty Bra, BB, comes into the store on a fairly regular basis, usually to complain about how overpriced everything is, while pointedly mentioning the store owner by name and archly looking at me as though she expects me to fall to my knees and beg for the opportunity to give her a discount because she knows the owner. You and a million others, BB. Store owner freaks out if I give a refund 1 day after the 14-day return policy, so no dice on discounts from me. Anyway, today BB was complaining about the price of our tumbled crystal selection. You know the kind. You could buy a handful of them for $2 at those natural wonder stores in big malls back in the 90s. Our store selection is a little more varied and popular among people who think carrying them around will make them rich, attract their soulmate, get them a job, or keep evil energy away from them. Some of these people may possibly be crows in disguise. I don't put anything past customers these days. So, BB is walking around the tables with the selection of tumbled crystals in their various boxes and bitching. Why does the store owner price these so high? I can buy the same ones cheaper at another New Age store. No idea, ma'am. I have nothing to do with the purchasing or pricing. And thinking, of course, why don't you just go to another New Age store and buy them there for fuck's sake? And why would this rose quartz be so much more expensive than this one? One is small, tumbled crystal, and the other is a larger natural crystal. It's the same type of stone. Ugh. She puts them down and stomps up to the counter with a look in her eye. I smile blandly. She plants her hands on the counter and leans over to regard me closely. So you know a lot about crystals, huh? Yes. As long as it has nothing to do with their energies, I know enough. Everything else, I Google. BB is satisfied with the answer, straightens up and reaches down the front of her shirt and begins fumbling around in her bra. I say nothing. BB is a larger woman, so this act is taking a lot of uncomfortable contorting and grunting and flesh jiggling, and I suddenly decide I need to check the store's email. Oh look, a sale on plates that energize food. BB finally clears her throat, and I reluctantly note that she is holding her hand out to me. Fingers extended, palm open. In the center of her palm are several tumbled crystals. Her palm, fingers, and the crystals are suspiciously moist. I bought these at another New Age store last week. I nod. But they're not giving off any energy. It's only been a week. Sometimes it takes time for the vibrations from you and the crystals to get used to each other. Note, I'm making it up as I go along. BB looks thoughtful, but keeps her hand out. My own hands are firmly on the computer keyboard. Maybe, but I'd appreciate if you tried them out. Store owner wouldn't have hired you if you weren't sensitive to energy. The store owner hired me because I lied my butt off about my metaphysical and otherworldly experiences. Because I know my way around computers and programs and graphic design, and other employees have an average typing speed of 20 words per minute combined. And because I'm a chump for applying for this job in the first place. BB wants me to touch her boob crystals. Her damp boob crystals. Not just touch them, but feel their energy. I promptly balk. I'm afraid I can't. BB looks offended. Why not? Oh, so many reasons. Chief among them, the boob sweat still glistening on the crystals beneath the fluorescent lights. I'm not comfortable touching another person's crystals, especially when they've been so close to you. The, energy, you see. It'll mess up my own. BB stares blankly at me for a moment, then her eyes widen. Oh my goodness, you're an empath, aren't you? I completely understand. I'm one too, and I can't stand eating out because of all the collected energies in the silverware. It really gives me indigestion, especially the Olive Garden, since it's right by the senior home. All the energy of those old folks can really mess up your system. I nod understandingly. Oh, fuck. Whatever it takes to not touch sweaty boob crystals. I'll make it through this story. I will. She shoves the boob crystal back in her bra like someone stuffing a turkey for Thanksgiving. Her hand, wrist, and most of her forearm vanishes down the front of her shirt until only her elbow is visible. The contortions and grunting resume, and once more I find myself completely absorbed in reading about the benefits of charging an apple with positive energy from a crystal plate. Ions are mentioned a lot. Some higher retail power was with me, because BB, per her complaining about the prices, wasn't interested in buying anything and left without touching anything with her boob-moistened fingers. But just to be on the safe side, I took the Lysol and spent a good half hour wiping down everything BB had potentially touched, because you just never know when someone has been feeling up their boob crystals before going shopping. This one paints such a good picture in my mind, and that's just unfortunate. You keep your moist boob crystals away from me, you hear? I hope you all enjoyed this episode. I'm really interested to hear what you all have to say on this one. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. We'll see you all next time. Peace.